So some next news was a little bit of a teaser that came up from Warlord Games this week. So we're seeing them looking towards the sort of skirmishing arena as well, with a new game which is called SPQR, which is set in the ancient world of our very own making. It looks like we're going to be getting a starter set which features Romans versus what could either be Celts or Gauls, one of the two. I mean, they all wear the same things, right, in that period. And that's going to offend so many people who like history. But anyway,
so much rage going on right now.
Yep.
All Gauls are Celts, not all Celts are Gauls.
You okay, Jerry?
Calm down.
But as well as that, it looks like we're going to be looking to sort of expand this out towards the rest of that sort of like ancient sphere as well. There's very few details about this right now, but it'll be very interesting to see where this one goes. I'm assuming it's going to be around sort of saga-sized warbands, maybe duking out on the tabletop. Whether or not they're going to be looking to another system that already exists or something as well might be very interesting as well. But hopefully we'll hear a little bit more about this in the next couple of weeks, especially around sort of UK Games Expo and stuff as well. So
cool. Well, Jerry, I know you dabble in your ancient stuff. Do you like the idea? Do you like the idea of exploring more Romans versus Gauls or Celts?
Yeah, I have no problem with it.
Right.
Depends how it's done. There's been some talk that it may be based on a mongoose system that was going to be released a while ago, but never seen the light of day.
Yeah.
Don't know that. It might be something totally bespoke and exciting and new. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the mechanics. If the mechanics work for what it's trying to do, that's good enough.
Yeah. Well,
I'll quite happily buy it, stick it on the shelf along with everything else. Because once I've got a set of Gauls and Republican Romans, I can throw out whatever I want on the table and play it with whatever type of game I want. So
that's fair enough. I do notice that the rule systems you see for different time periods, there is a lot of variation with what they're trying to represent. Trying to represent laser cannon versus crossbow. There's a lot of difference to the mechanics that they use for some of those.
Yeah.
Yes, because they're two very different things, but depending on the game you're playing, they could be represented in exactly the same way.
Yeah.
There's no reason for them to vary because it depends what you're attempting to do. If you were to play a 6mm game or something small like that, shooting with a crossbow is pretty much the pinnacle of infantry shooting. Without going into war machines, shooting with laser guns would be the same in 6mm. So you could play exactly the same games in the same way.
Just reskinning and changing models?
It just depends the format and type of game you're attempting to bring to the tabletop.
Interesting.
Yeah. The really cool thing for me, like in this, with the idea of what they're trying to do with this box, hopefully anyway, is that it'll be really nice to have an access point for people who want to get into historical wargaming, especially that kind of ancient period, without having to build up huge armies. So being able to look at something like Egyptians, Greeks, Romans, etc., a little bit like what we've seen with like Mortal Gods and stuff that the guys at Footsaw are doing and things. Yeah. Having this game that's an accessible way to get into ancient wargaming without having to think that you've got to paint an entire legion effectively. So yeah.